So Luke and I are currently in New Jersey, and I'm just gonna be making a video of the books that I read this week. I specifically have some that I'm wanting to read. Heartless Hunter, I left the dust cover at home. This one I actually finished in the car on the way here, so I'm gonna count it, I think. I have this book, How to Stop Time, which is by the guy who wrote The Midnight Library. This one I'm really liking, but it's kind of slow. I've read that much of it. This is probably not one I'm gonna read too much. I meant to finish this before I went on vacation, but I brought it with me in case I want to read it more. I did read it a little bit on the drive as well. But those are the two I was in the middle of before vacation. Hey babe, I'm filming. So this one here I brought in case I want to read a thriller, but I probably am not going to read this one at all. Now we get to the actual books that I am wanting to get to while we're here. The first one is actually on my Kindle, which I just got this new Kindle case. I think it's so adorable. I can link it below. I got it from Etsy. But I am reading this book called Jackpot Summer that's about a family in New Jersey. Because I'm in New Jersey, I wanted to read this one. I think it has the best reviews, but I thought could be fun. What do you need?
I was going to ask you what book you're bringing.
You were asking me what book I'm bringing to the beach.
Yeah.
Funny you should ask. I am bringing this book. This book I've been saving for vacation because I feel like it's perfect to read on the beach, and I'm excited to get to it, but I'm also not quite in the mood for it right now, so I don't know. I am bringing my Kindle though. And then the last one I have is Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna, which I've heard is a story about friends, two best friends, and it's throughout their life and the things that happen. I've also heard it's pretty emotional, so I'm not sure if I want to read this one, but I brought it just in case because I'm very excited to read it. Anyway, those are the options. We'll see what we get up to. So we just got back from the beach, and while at the beach, my Kindle has sand all over it. While at the beach, I was reading more of Jackpot Summer. I am 24% through. So far, it's it actually is kind of the perfect thing to read while I'm here, because currently we're at Luke's family's trailer that is up here, near the shore. The story is taking place where there's 4 children, and they're all grown up now, and their dad is planning to sell the home that they always would go to during the summers. Their mom, his wife, has died, so all the kids are sad, but they're all trying to get together for the 4th of July to take all the stuff out of the house before the new people own it. It's told from each sibling's point of view. They each get a chapter, so I've only gotten through 3 chapters, so 3 of the siblings, and I'm about to start the 4th one, so I'll get to see his point of view. It's kind of like when you watch a movie and you wouldn't recommend it to someone, but you enjoy it, and it's not super immersive to where I feel like I'm super in the story, but it's an enjoyable time. We're about to go to, I think, another beach for sunset. Maybe, I'm not sure. We have so much time here. We got here yesterday, which was Saturday, and then we're here until next Saturday. Luke is trying to ruin my video. He's just copying me and trying to sound like a vlogger, but we Actually, every day of this trip we've been getting a late start because we like to lay around and chill. Today we are doing a day of me choosing what we do. We're obviously going book shopping, going to all the little bookstores in Cape May. He's trying to imitate me.
Just driving the home.
Anyway, so first we're gonna go to lunch and go to this little grilled cheese place. I hope that what people say online is true and they have gluten-free options. I haven't really done as much reading as I thought I would. Or maybe I'm just a slow reader.
It's because we're not getting to the beach until late.
Yeah, that's fair. I am 48% through my book. We're starting to get to the point where all the problems that come with winning the lottery are showing up, or the Powerball, whatever. I think if I wasn't, what?
I just started thinking of the Apparently kid.
Apparently, I've never been on live television before.
Watch the Powerball.
I watched the Powerball. You know, everybody's lives are going, and it's like showing ways that their lives are better, ways that it's not as good, their perceptions of each other, basically like seeing them think about that the other people are doing better than them or whatever. It is very interesting. I do feel like if I wasn't reading it in this video, I might stop reading it, so that's not really a good sign. I think it's just because it's very like slice of life. It's not like, nothing crazy is happening. Ice cream shop is freaking adorable. Love it. So I just spent a few hours sleeping. I actually have a headache that has been going on since yesterday and it is not good. But when we were out, we were trying to go to more than one bookstore, but the one we tried to go to was closed, unfortunately. So before we went to the bookstore though, we stopped at this store that I saw a book at a couple days ago, and it was autographed by the author of the book, and I looked it up on Goodreads. It has an average rating of like 3.99, which I feel like is pretty good. It's inspired by a legend of a haunting of one of the places here, and so we also stopped by there to look at that. Whoa. She haunted. So then when I come back and read this, I can think about that place. It looks like it's about a guy who dies and then he's stuck as a ghost, and I think he meets a girl. Yeah, he meets a girl. They both died and there's like issues with them falling in love. I didn't get a book at the other place, but there wasn't anything that I was like is on my list of books that I need to get. And this one's just fun because I'm like, it's a new, like a Cape May specific book. My migraine's a little better after taking a nap, but it's still pretty bad. Like this morning when I woke up, I was feeling nauseous from it, like how bad it was. I think we were planning to play some games and stuff, but I don't understand what it is, but on this whole trip we've been like so tired, just more than normal, and I was like wanting to go on vacation for it to be restful and rejuvenating, but honestly I'm just not feeling the best. Oh well. I also kind of want to finish a Jackpot Summer today so that I can either start on the new book I just bought, or I will then read Happy Place. I think I might be leaning more towards Happy Place. I literally saved that book to bring here. Do I have updates for you? So, I have not updated you since, I don't remember when the last time I updated, but I didn't update yesterday. So yesterday we basically just went to the beach and read on the beach. Okay, before I go there, I finished Jackpot Summer, and I think I'm gonna save my thoughts till the end, where I'll wrap up all the books that I finished in this video. But I started Happy Place yesterday, and I read this on the beach yesterday and then today, and I'm halfway through the book now. Guys, I am loving this one so much. Like, I've heard this is like Emily Henry's book that a lot of people put as their top book and a lot of people put as their bottom of all her books. I'm just gonna say right now, if it's gonna be how it is going now, this is gonna be my top book, because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the writing. I love the friend group. I love like the interactions. I love that it's set in Maine. Like, there's so much about this book that I love, and I've been highlighting the crap out of this thing. I'm trying to think of, like, there's like a section I was thinking about reading to you guys. Oh yeah, so if you do not want to hear any parts of the book, which I know that sometimes I don't, you can skip to this timestamp, but just listen to this. He's become my best friend the way the others did, bit by bit, sand passing through an hourglass so slowly it's impossible to pin down the moment it happens, when suddenly more of my heart belongs to him than doesn't, and I know I'll never get a single grain back. He's a golden boy, I'm a girl whose life has been drawn in shades of gray. I try not to love him. I really try. I'm loving this book so much. We'll see how it goes with the second half. I have heard some people say that they don't like the second half of this book, but today is, well, this is Friday night. We are leaving tomorrow, probably around noon, so it's kind of like our last day here. And the reason I didn't update you guys sooner was because yesterday, right before we left the beach, I felt like this, kind of like the feeling you get if you are getting like a cold sore or something. I felt it like on my lip, and I wasn't sure if like I got bit by something or like what happened, but it developed within half an hour to looking very gross. It literally ballooned. I'm gonna show a picture here. If you don't want to see it, just skip like 10 seconds. But like, yeah, my lip like ballooned. We went and got Benadryl to see if that would help me, and it like went down a little bit. When I woke up this morning, it was still pretty puffy, and then throughout the day it's like chilled out, and like now it's not even there. Like, it literally just looked like a terrible lip filler job. But anyway, because today is our last day here, I don't know if I'm gonna finish this. I'm probably gonna read a little bit of it tonight, but I do have to pack and get everything squared away. But then I have the whole drive. Luke will be driving and I can be reading. I just love it. Like, this is the experience that this is giving me, is like the feeling of not wanting, like, a lot of times I want a book to be finished because I want to have finished it and like have that as like, oh, this book is done. This book though, I don't want to finish it. Like, I want to keep reading it, and that does not happen to me very often. Might I like tentatively say it's giving me 5-star vibes. What else? Oh yeah, we went to this super cute restaurant for dinner tonight. The entire design of it is like an old gas station. It's super cute. That's a place I would highly recommend. It was literally so good. I got a drink called Lavender Haze, so good, and then I got curry, and Luke got a burger. He loved it so much that we ordered one for me to go, but with a gluten-free bun, obviously. I just tried that and it was really good. Yeah, we had a great day. It was like honestly the best day so far, which is nice because it's the last day. The beach was gorgeous today. That's my update for you guys. I'll catch up with you guys either tomorrow or whenever I finish this book to give final ratings for all the books I read on this trip.
The fall is coming, I can feel whispers to my skin.
I feel like this week went by so incredibly fast. I am happy to be home though. Sleeping in my bed last night was so nice. It is officially time to go through the books that I read on this trip. There are 3 of them. The first I finished on the drive there, so I'm gonna count it because I want to talk about this book. So I gave this book 4 stars. When I was first reading it though, I was like really unsure of how I was gonna rate it because it was feeling like a 3 stars, and I think that's because I'm just not much of a fantasy reader. Like, maybe that's just because I haven't found what I like in fantasy, but I find myself being pretty bored anytime that I'm reading fantasy. It's just like, okay, all this is so fake. Like when I'm reading a contemporary book, I can picture it in the real world, and that makes it seem more important to me. I have a couple things that I didn't like, namely, and this is something that I didn't hear about from anyone about this book, but it is like somewhat of a love triangle, and I'm not gonna say anymore because if you like romantasy and super easy to read books, because this one is like very, very simple writing, I would recommend it. And I gave it 4 stars because the last 20% of this book was good and I enjoyed it. I had a great time. Instantly was like, let me buy the next book, but it doesn't come out till like, I don't know when it comes out, like February or something. The second book that I read on my Kindle, which, can we just take a minute to appreciate this Kindle case? It is literally my favorite thing. It makes me so happy to look at it. But I read Jackpot Summer, and so I had a good time while I was reading it, but when it ended, I kind of feel like I wasted my reading time that I could have been reading something good. I ended up rating it 2.75 stars. The reason I didn't give it 3 stars, because originally I was gonna give it 3 stars, but then I feel like 3 stars and higher, I would recommend it. This book I wouldn't necessarily recommend because I just feel like it's kind of a waste of time. It was kind of fun to see like the different characters, the siblings' interactions with each other, because basically it's about these siblings who have a house in, or this family has a house in New Jersey. The mom dies and then the dad is selling the house, and all the kids are adults. They're all, I think the youngest is 30, and it's just kind of showing their lives, how their lives are going, and then 3 out of the 4 siblings enter the Powerball.
We watched the Powerball.
It wasn't my favorite. I definitely wouldn't recommend it. But if that sounds interesting to you, I literally bought this book from, I think it was Sarah Caroli's video, because she's from New Jersey, or she lives in New Jersey, and she was recommending it as, well, she didn't even recommend it, I don't think. She like talked about it in a video, and she said it wasn't that good, but I bought it anyways. There's that one. And then, oh my gosh, guys. This book, 6 out of 5 stars. I did not understand what people meant when they said that because I'm still a newer reader. When I tell you this book from start to finish made my brain, like, it touched something in my brain that like I don't think I've experienced before. This was my favorite, possibly my favorite book I've ever read, which is saying a lot. And I used to be on the side of people that was like, I don't understand why everyone is that obsessed with Emily Henry. Like, I read Book Lovers, loved that. I read Beach Read. When I first read Beach Read, it was before I was really like a reader, and I didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand why people loved it so much. I am gonna reread that one at some point, but this book, so good. Literally every time there was a new scene, it was my new favorite scene, and then the next scene would come and that would become my next favorite scene. And like the interpersonal relationships between the friend group and the relationship that was, this is a second chance romance with this couple who was engaged. They're not telling their friends that they're not engaged anymore, and they go on a trip with their friends that they go on every year because, again, the beach house or whatever is getting sold, but this one's in Maine, that one's set in New Jersey. I seriously, like, the metaphors were beautiful, the writing was beautiful, the interactions between the characters was so realistic. When I finished this book, which I finished it on the car ride back, I was so sad that I'm never gonna be able to read this for the first time again, but I'm definitely going to reread it at some point. And I also annotated the crap out of this thing. I'm so obsessed. Favorite Emily Henry book, and it's probably going to stay that way. I am going to eventually read People We Meet on Vacation. I have that book. I started reading it. I DNF'd it, but I will definitely pick that up again. And then I'm gonna be buying Funny Story when it comes out in paperback because I don't want the hardcover because all of my other ones are in paperback. So I don't really know how spicy this book is because I skipped anytime it felt like it was getting that way, but like from what I can tell, I think it's probably less than her other books. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. It is definitely a lot of tension the whole time though, because it's like a couple who was engaged, who are not anymore, but they're pretending to be engaged, so like you can only imagine. I also don't know if this is one that everybody would feel this way about. I also know that this is one of her lower rated on Goodreads, but yeah, absolutely amazing. I loved it so much. These are all the books that I read on vacation. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.